Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's the Preventers here, guys, and welcome back to another Marvel Future Fight video. And just a warning, guys, I still am feeling a little under the weather, so apologies for any sniffling or sneezing that you may hear. Anyways, let's get straight into today's video. Today we are talking about timeline battle. I want to give you guys all the tips and tricks and want to tell you guys everything you need to know about timeline battle. I thought this would be important because there are some tips and tricks that you need to know. There's ins and outs, and I've just learned them thanks to at Daily Mon Future Fight. Big shout out to him as always. But he has taught me a lot, and so has other videos. So I thought I'd make a video telling you guys what you need to know and what the best strategies are. So let's start off with timeline. If you haven't played it before, you basically it's a PvP centric game mode. It's 3-on-3. You use your best characters against their best characters, and you basically fight to the death. And the way it works is, and the reason why this game mode is so big and popular is because you get rewarded crystals. And this is the only game mode that you do get rewarded crystals, so that's what makes it so huge. Now, you're probably wondering, what are the best way to farm these crystals? And that is what we're going to be talking about mainly today in today's video. So let's get straight on into it. So, apologies for sniffling again. The highest I've ever been is Vibranium. I've never been Challenger. Challengers for the top players in the game. That's why they're going to have the most rewards of gold crystals and glory tokens, which we'll get into later. But for those of us who are just more casual or just trying to grind, we're going to be in these other leagues. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm in gold if I was the highest I've ever been is Vibranium. You probably think I'm not playing Timeline. I actually am playing Timeline more than I was when I got into Vibranium. And I'm going to explain exactly why here. So you can go to Vibranium, you can push for as high as you want, but you're going to end up being in one of these percentiles down here. The highest percentile you can get, you'll get 220 crystals. You won't be making top 100 unless you're a really good player. So this is really for more casual players, like I said, but there are some tips and tricks in this video for hard grinders and really good players as well. This is more centric to new players or just casual players or even returning players as well. All right, so take this into account. Right here, you'll probably be getting 220 crystals from being in Vibranium. Now, if you do a thing called tanking or dropping, whatever you want to call it, and you drop down to gold, you have a higher chance of being in that top 50, a top 100, especially if you have a good timeline team, and you can make more profit off that. I am currently, my strategy, instead of being in platinum, Vibranium, the one time I made it, I only got the 120 crystals, so I'm really talking about platinum here. I'd be getting 150 crystals weekly. But with my strategy of dropping down into gold and making top 50, I get 500 crystals weekly. Now, it is not weekly though I said weekly, but it was a wrong use of words now I think about it. Basically, 1 week I grind for top 50 to get to gold and I get 500 crystals without any recharges. The next week I tank on purpose and lose all my games, so then I only get 60 crystals. But in total, if you add that up, if in 2 weeks I'm only staying in platinum, and let's say I get to the top 0 to 1% and I get 150 crystals, that's going to end up being 300 crystals in 2 weeks. If I do this gold strategy, I'll end up getting 500 plus the 60, so I'll be at 560 crystals every 2 weeks. So you see there, the math adds up. It is more beneficial to tank, unless, like I said, you're a really good player. Then you probably could head for like top 50 in platinum and whatnot. But for a player with my account, with my sort of team here, I got Gore, Hulk, Gene. It is beneficial for me to go top 50 in gold. Now, if you are a player that normally gets into Vibranium constantly, like I said, that's just the highest I've been. I don't constantly get into Vibranium. I used to constantly get in platinum, though. If you constantly get into Vibranium and you're in this, top 0, 1%, and even the top 100 sometimes, and it might be more beneficial to go down in the Platinum League and go for rank 50 in Platinum League. Now, I say rank 50 because it's the most obtainable and the cheapest, because you can make these other top 10s and whatnot. It's all situational based on your account. But the problem is that you do have to do a lot of recharges. Like, if I look at the number one in gold right now, I guarantee he has some recharges. Yep, he has 120 games played, and I am sitting at 70 and I'm about to hit 80 today because the reset is in an hour. So I won't be showing the actual gameplay because it's a little too early still, but I will be showing all the tips and tricks like I said. So right now I'm ranked 87, and basically what you want to do if you're going to tank like I am is you're going to want to play timeline right before the reset every day. So it resets at 10 o'clock Eastern time. You can figure out what time that is for you. You probably know by now if you're playing this game and you're watching this video. But basically, you want to play right before, you want to get your 10 timeline battles in. But before you do that, what you want to do is go click on every character, every person in the top 50-ish, and try and figure out players that you know you can beat. For example, here, if I click on Striker the Slay, he has a tier 4 gene, so I'm not going to fight that. All you want to look for me personally, I have a Gore and a Gene and a Hulk, right? So I personally just want to look for teams without Gene. I know I can beat any team without Gene. Now, this is going to come after playing a couple weeks and a couple months maybe. Then you'll start learning what teams you can beat, what characters are your counters, whatnot, and then you can determine for yourself. But for me, Gene's a no-go. I'm not fighting any Genes. So if I keep going down the list, okay, another tier 4 Gene, another tier 4 Gene. Gene's really taking over. You kind of realize that. But I have gone in and seen players that don't have a tier 4 gene or a gene at all. I'd have to find one real quick. Like right here, Iron Hammer. He only has a Sentry, a Spider-Man, and tier 4 Hulk. Even though tier 4 Hulk is pretty powerful, I know my gene or even my Hulk can take it out, so I'll be fine. And I know that Gore will go through Spider-Man and Sentry. So I will remember this person, and when I go to fight, and instead of just fighting the first person here, I will click Search New Opponent until I get to those people that I have remembered that I can beat. And if I don't remember that I can't, like if I didn't remember their names, what I'll do is write it down, and it's very beneficial. But you want to look for the top 50 because if they're not top 50, you're only going to get small points like this where you get plus 26 if you see on the win count there right next to search new opponent. You want this to go higher, but you also still want to fight teams you know you can beat. And the other thing you could do if you are confident in beating other teams with Gene and whatnot, you could click on the character and you can look at their cards and see, okay, how much Pierce they have? 19, max HP plus 66. Yeah, this guy would probably whip me, especially with that tier 4 gene. But it's all judgment calls, guys. You got to have a decent understanding for this game and just kind of understand that who's meta. And right now, I can definitely tell you it's Hulk, Gore, Spider-Man, Gene, and you'll have supports like Shuri and Colossus that can be a pain sometimes if you don't know how to counter them properly. Now, once you've done this, you're going to go throughout the week, right? And you're going to play timeline an hour, 2 hours right before the reset and keep ranking up. On the very last day, like I am today, because today is Thursday, and an hour and 36 minutes, probably an hour from when this video drops, the timeline battle will reset every Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So yeah, again, figure that out what time that is for you. But right before the reset, you want to play an hour before, and this is when it matters, guys. Because yesterday I was ranked 33. Now I'm ranked 87. Everybody plays timeline right before the reset and right before the timeline reset. That's why it's so important to play it right at the end, so you really get a better understanding of where you're going to land, and so you can face all the other players that you really need to that are in your league. So I will be doing it in 35 minutes, probably after recording this video. I'll be playing and I'll go through and hopefully make top 50. That's your goal. If you're not top 50, then it's not too big of a deal because you still make a profit-ish. If you're top 100, you still get 250. So I would still be making like 100 more crystals if I was just sitting in platinum. So yeah, it's a win-win. It's a win-loss win. It all depends. It's like I said, it's a lot of situational stuff, but you do want to make that top 50. So the only other thing that you got to take into account is your points, okay? Or not your points. Sorry, we already went over the points with the find new opponent. I would show you guys, but like I said, I want to do mine soon, and I don't want to start doing it too early. But the only other thing you got to worry about is your current win rate and your win streak. That also affects your rank, if you see on the right there. So right now I am at a 37 win streak, and I've had 2 losses. You can have losses and still be top 100. Like this guy has 106 and 14, but you're gonna have to use recharges. So it's beneficial that you try and lose like the least amount possible because that will drop your rank as well very heavily. You're not going anywhere if you can't win at least like 30 in a row before the Thursday reset. So make sure that you are facing people that you can beat. That's another important part about this, like I said before. So that's basically what you want to do to farm the best amount of crystals. Let me know, give me any situations you got in the comments, and I'll help you try and figure out what's the best thing for you to do. But this is the most beneficial for me. But now let's talk about a couple other things that you need to do for Timeline if you're not already, and that is with the token shop. So you have these normal tokens here. They are called glory tokens. You can buy all these great resources if you didn't already know that. But what you want to get your hands on is advanced glory tokens because you can farm tier 3 materials out of these, especially that EOD and TCP. I could definitely use some of that. Some of you may be missing awakening crystals and mandala gems or even CCF. Who knows? It all depends on your count as always. But the way to do this is basically you need to cheer every week before the reset. This is preferably at an hour. So again, I'm not going to do mine yet, but I will be doing mine a little later. So what you're going to want to do here is you want to click on this little icon with the search and the league symbol at the bottom here, and you're going to want to go ahead. Apologies for sniffling again. I can't get rid of this cold. But you want to go ahead and click on the search, and you're going to want to look at their current win rate. You want to look at their ratio, and you're going to try and find the person that has the highest amount of wins. So out of those three, Gear Kieran had the most. So let's say I look through this whole list. You're going to have to look through the whole list. Yes, it is a little time consuming, but it is worth it. And once you find the person that has the most wins, so let's say just for situation here, this guy does, then I would click on, I'd remember his name, so Gear Karen, and then I go back here, and I click on the thumbs up with the two arrows crossing each other down here by 20 wins, and I'd go ahead and go click the person, and I would click max. I'd use my glory tokens and then cheer for them, and basically I would get rewarded advanced glory tokens on if they win, and they get first place in Challenger Timeline. Now here's the thing: if you are cheering for someone that a lot of other people have cheered for, you won't get as much glory tokens, but it's probably because that is the person who's going to win. You kind of know by an hour left who's going to win. Even right now, I could probably see who's going to win, but I'm not going to, like I said, because I just want to get this video for you guys first. But you can definitely tell. And like right now, this guy's definitely not going to win, and that's why it's offering me 15,000 advanced glory tokens. Because if he were to win, all of a sudden, then it'd be really rewarding. It's a lot of gambling. It's basically the same way that gambling works. But other than that, guys, that's all you really need to know about Timeline. I just want to give these tips and tricks and give you an overview of what you need to be doing because I do get a lot of questions about this, and I have seen people just autoplay. That's the other thing. That's the last thing I want to cover here is that a lot of you guys just press repeat and let it autoplay. That's not going to work if you want to farm the max amount of crystals. You're going to have to play manually. You're going to have to play an hour before the reset. It's a lot of sacrifice of time, and it's going to take some hard work. But in the end, guys, if you want to build your account, if you want to buy more uniforms, and you want to buy, I don't know, maybe gamble for some CTPs, whatnot, whatever you may want to spend your crystals on, you're going to have to do this. So good luck to you that do pick up this strategy that I just gave you guys if you didn't already know it. And I hope I did help some of you guys. Like I said, sorry for those of you that already probably know all this. It might be a little boring of a video for you guys, but I thought I'd make this video to inform you guys that don't know this and to help out the community more on learning the basis of this game because it is a very complicated game and it doesn't have that good of a tutorial to tell you everything you need to know. So that's why people like me are around to give you guys our basis of a tutorial for this game, basically. So I hope this helped. Like I said, if it did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, guys. And we'll see you all in the next one. Take care.